Alrighty, guys, welcome to Dola Time. This is my boy Javon, and we're gonna try this again. It was so
Round
good. We
two.
had to we had to record it twice. We had a little mishaps, but it's a good pleasure talking to my boy.
Yeah, man.
Man, catching up. I know this dude since elementary days. We were
We
playing
were
for the
probably like
Covina Vikings.
8 years old.
Yeah, 8 years old. We were chubby boys. We had to lose weight, and that's how we became friends. We had to diet at like fourth grade, whatever grade we were in. Yeah, we were in fourth grade, dieting, freaking chewing gum and spitting to
Spit.
lose weight. The trash bags around our body when we're running
Yeah, we
to
had
help us.
weigh-ins. We had weigh-ins before
Exactly.
the season.
That shit was rough, man. Little kids too. Could you mind like thinking about little kids trying to lose weight?
That's
My
like
mom was
abuse
pissed.
now.
Exactly. Our parents would have got locked up. Like this
It was
day and age,
bad.
you can't do that. But
No,
I
it
mean,
was
it was
bad.
fun. Got to meet all the friends from all the Northview guys, basically
Yeah.
from the Covina Vikings. But man, that's I think you never had to lose weight after that. That was like your one
That was
time.
the
You're
first
like, I'm
time.
done.
That was
Yeah,
the
you're
first
like
time.
first time and last time. My fat ass. My fat ass kept having every year had to lose weight. First year was like 15. The next year was 12. You was like, no, I'm done. I'm not doing
Yeah.
this.
I'm a short guy though, so like you
Yeah,
kept getting taller, so I
I
didn't have to
kept
do
gaining
too
weight.
much.
Yep, I kept getting chubbier and chubbier.
Oh, that's funny. You leaning out
But
now though?
yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I feel like when I guess it's like I'm losing the baby fat. So I'm probably like maybe more weight.
You
I'm like
said baby fat,
190.
you're 26.
Yeah, I'm not getting. I'm losing like my face. Like I don't know, cause I weigh more. I'm like
Yeah,
190, 185. But it's like I'm like leaner. Maybe
yeah.
I don't know. You know the whole science behind that. Probably
Yeah, they say
muscle
like
or
when men hit like 25, that's kind of like our it starts to come to like our prime years. Like,
okay.
but you're not right. I was just kind of joking, but yeah, we start to shed off that kind of like excess fat, really
Yeah.
lean out, and yeah, so it doesn't
No,
take
that's
as
why.
much effort, I would say. So yeah,
So, so is that you think that's like our so like 25 is that our best time to like build muscle and stuff like that, or
I would say it's easier in a sense, just because that's when our body starts to become like fully
full
developed.
grown and whatnot?
Yeah, because us guys take longer than women do from a physical standpoint and mental, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's when, like, if you're not playing sports, that's when the average male's body should be like prime years. Like, if you think about football, like, that's like a running back's like, that's when you in it.
Yeah.
You hit
That's
28, 29, then it's like
it
slow.
starts peaking. That's crazy
Yeah.
how like for running backs that's how it is. Like Todd
Yeah.
Gurley's only 26 years old and he's not
Yeah.
even on the team no more.
He's
It's
already
like
counting out.
damn,
Yep.
longevity is no longevity, man.
Mm-mm.
Except for AP, man, he's been doing this since
That's my
I don't
dog.
know how he's doing it. And it's crazy. Like basketball prime is like in their 30s. You
Yeah.
wouldn't think like in the 30s. It's kind of wild, but I mean, two different sports
Yeah.
and yeah, LeBron 30 what 5
Six,
something like that. He's
36,
still 36.
36.
He's like the best athlete in the world still. Like
It's insane.
it's ridiculous. But I mean, it probably goes with his like eating habits, like his training, and
Yeah.
like the uh, not so much the training, like the after part of the training when you take care of yourself. Like what's it?
Yeah. Recovery.
The recovery. The
Yeah.
recovery. That's
Recovery's
probably like
huge.
a bit.
So
It's like a big role. Icing, would you say? Stretching or
ice,
days off?
stretch, muscle like release like techniques, like dry needling, massage, all that type of stuff. Just
That's just crucial.
yeah, that's why a lot of you can't do that for football games, but a lot of um, basketball teams, basketball players, they work out after their basketball games.
I've
Like,
seen that. Why is that
yeah,
just to
I don't necessarily know like the science behind it, but I would assume good like cool down and recovery method.
hmm.
That's my assumption anyway.
do, do
But
they lift like light or heavy? You would think
a lot of
more
it's at
reps.
least for the pros. What I've seen, a lot of it's like more like stability, a lot of like joint strengthening. Because if you think about like the knees and like ankles when it comes to basketball, that's
It's
huge,
crucial.
crucial. You roll an ankle and then you're out for 2
Yeah,
weeks
for a minute. It's crazy
max.
because your ankle is like never the same after you roll your ankle
Yeah,
because
because
it's like
we all had
yeah
ankle braces growing up.
yeah
Yeah,
it's like a what ligament So once you roll that, it's like it doesn't go back the same
Yeah, it just takes a lot longer. Yeah.
to heal and stuff.
Hmm.
Shit. So I see your shirt right there, Taylor Fit, man. What's that
Tailored
about?
Fit. Yes. So,
Or explain the name so people know, and then go into it.
yeah, so Tailored Fit, my last name is Taylor. So, Tailored Fit is my personal training brand that I'm building, and it's all about tailoring health and fitness to you. So, just making it more individualized to the person and just trying to create
Okay.
this connection with the individual. So, that's I'd say my difference as far as personal training, because honestly, if you've seen one program, you've kind of seen them all. They all have their different little nuances here and there, like a bodybuilding style or CrossFit style, functional bodybuilding style. All that really stays the same. I'm really just trying to focus on making a connection with the individual because
Hmm.
the mindset behind working out is where all the difference is made, in my opinion. So you see other people having struggles up and down as far as their health journey, and that's because life is up and down. So if you're
Yeah.
able to focus on the mindset within all of that as life changes, it becomes a lot easier to stay healthy in that way. So that's my
Yeah.
that, yeah.
And then so you're saying it's like are you gonna make it like a clothing brand? I remember we talked about it. There's just like a stomping ground. Eventually, you might sell products and stuff like that, or
Yeah, eventually, I want to just focus more so on the personal training side. Luckily,
yeah,
because where my mind goes with that, Tailored Fit has two. It's kind of like a double-headed sword when you think about it. So Tailored Fit, tailoring fitness to the individual, but Tailored Fit as in clothing, like the fit of the clothing is tailored to you as a person. So
oh, okay,
there's two levers I can kind of pull with that.
okay.
So that's kind of how I
That's
look at
actually
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's you got two ways to approach it. It gives
yeah,
you more options to play with. Did you
yeah.
think about that, or just like it just happened? You're like, oh shoot, I could
Um,
like
I thought about it from the beginning. I thought it more so as like the like tailoring someone's body, but
yeah,
and that's it seemed like a good idea at first, and it still is, but I'm more so focused on tailoring as far as fitness to the
fitness.
person. 'Cause I don't want it to be more so. A lot of people get caught up in like the aesthetic. But that comes as
Yeah,
long as everything is locked up here, and then you're
yeah,
making progression to that. And then with the clothing part of that, that's going to be after the brand itself is built up.
built up. And then you were just talking about the mindset all about working out. Like, how would you like give advice for somebody to get their mindset, or like if they're having like a bad day, like what would your advice like when you don't want to go to the gym? What do you do?
Yeah, so when
Like,
I
how do
don't
you
want to
push
go to
yourself?
the gym, the big thing that my program is going to be focused on is to what's the main reason why you're doing it. So for me, we just talked about being in sports since you were 8. So
Yeah,
from 8 till 25 now, that's a long time to try to stay
yeah,
like locked in. And so not everyone can be as like mentally strong and tuned in like a David Goggins type individual.
yeah.
That's one in
That's
a million. That's why he is who
yeah,
he is. So um, don't put yourself compared to that. Like, just work with the tools that you already know and how you operate. So a big thing for me is just have the person focus on what's the main reason why they're doing it. And to me, like look good isn't a good enough reason. You're gonna fall back into the old
the
ways
old habits.
if that's your main focus. So it's like, no,
Gotcha.
why do you want to look good? And it's really trying to dig deep into what that main reasoning is. And at the end of the day, it's like people do want to feel good about themselves, but we all need to be taking care of ourselves physically and health wise in general.
Yeah,
So when you see it as something that you have to do, really, like exercise shouldn't be an option. Like it should be
yeah,
mandatory. But we don't look at it that way yet. Um, but I feel like that it needs to be mandatory. When you look at it as part of your daily routine, it gets easier that way.
yeah,
So like, no, I just working out as a part of my day, and trying to make that more routine for the person. It becomes a habit at that point. So it's more so the uphill climb of trying to make it a habit. That's the hardest part. That's why most people fall off in like the first month or two is because not enough guidance and not enough direction when it comes to that. So that's my main focus along with that.
And then to build a habit, how is it like 21 days or like is that a myth or? So I always say like it's like 21 days to build a habit or whatever that saying is.
And that's I don't know the exact science behind that. A lot of
Yeah.
us kind of just throw stuff like that around, like oh, it takes 30 days to build a habit, 3 weeks to build a habit. It depends on the person because if let's say I'm a person that likes to eat dessert all the time and I'm clean eating for 3 weeks, oh, I should be fine by now. But if I eat some cake, and that's something I know, like, oh, that's a trigger for me. That can take you down a whole week of bad eating choices. So it just kind of depends on the person and what triggers them and what kind of motivation level that they have, what kind of discipline that they have. So that's why I really want to focus on individualizing the mentality of it for the person. That's the biggest difference. Just like being a coach, you got to train. You have to coach each player slightly differently.
I was just about to ask. Yep. Exactly.
Yep.
You have to know what you're working with. That's why I feel like the when I talked to you last time, like the thing you're doing is like you're gonna work with each person differently. Nowadays, I see like trainers, it's like they kind of do like the same thing with each client or like especially the ones like at the big gyms like 24-hour fitness. It's helping them, but I feel like it's kind of like a scam to them because it's like you're doing the same thing. You have like this whole playbook already, but you're not doing like the wants and needs. You need to find out what works for this person, what works for this person, and so that's why those type of gyms I'm like, if people want to go there, but like a one-on-one, like the self-made, like where Eric is and stuff like that, those gyms are kind of might be pricey, but you're paying for a person that's gonna focus on you, give you a diet plan and all that stuff. Did you ever see yourself? Oh, go.
I was just gonna say that's the biggest difference what you're saying right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Once it becomes copy and paste, copy and paste, you start to lose your passion for it because then you're not creating the connection with the individual, and then 2, you're most likely getting caught up in the dollar signs. And that's my biggest struggle with the service industry. It's like, regardless if it's you're trying to profit off of this, honestly, this person, you have to still be rooted in the service of it. The money will come regardless because that's just the nature of the business. If that's what you really want to do, but you'll lose your passion for it if you start focusing too much on the money,
the dollar sign. And then
life, really, I think.
Yeah, that's what you're not even doing it for. Like I remember we talked about it last time. You're like you're not doing it for the money or you're just doing it just because what you want to do. And good things don't come like the way you're putting in like good energy into it. You're not like just looking for the money. That's what I like about it. And what are you doing right now for work? And
so I work at this place called Stretch Zone, which is like a physical therapy, like a step down from physical therapy. So what we do with that is we honestly just stretch people, and that, like you got to talk about the recovery and how that helps a person's body more than just recovery, but injury prevention, and honestly relieving the body from some pains like back pain and sciatica pain and things like that. So being able to take care of people's bodies that way. So that's what I do for my job as right now, and Tetherfit is something that I'm building for myself in a different health space. So,
that's kind of good. Like the stretching about it. So when you work out a client, you could stretch it. Do you need like a school for that, like the stretching stuff, or kinesiology or?
Yeah, that's what I have is kinesiology. Kinesiology or exercise science. So just as long as you have like anatomy and physiology, know about the body.
So you understand the body. And then I was when you're talking about stretching, usually or when you talk about back pain, usually when it has back pain, it's not really the back, huh? It's like the different part of the muscle that's always like strained. You got to stretch that out.
So a big thing with back pain itself is usually your glutes, because when you think about the anatomy, when your glutes are tight, that pulls your pelvis down and it stretches. It puts stress on your low back because the glutes here are pulling so hard that now your back is under chest, or your hip flexors, which is on. It sounds weird because it's on the complete other side of your body, but when those hip flexors get tight in the front, that then tilts your pelvis, and then that puts stress on your back too.
That's my
Yep.
biggest thing is my hip flexors. You
Yep.
just posted that last video on your Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Those stretches, those my favorite. Feels good. I'm getting better since I've been doing that Muay Thai class. Like we have
Yeah.
to stretch and to throw kicks.
Yep.
You got to open up your hips and stuff. So I feel like I'm getting more limber. I'm not able to do the splits yet. My coach be doing a split. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
But
bro.
each day I'm getting more limber. And I feel like it's a good one for athletes or if they're. I don't know why the whole stigma of stretching is so bad. Like maybe we don't have time for it. Like we
Yeah.
work out and we like, oh, I don't want to do 30 minutes of stretching. But if everyone stretched too after you work out, I feel like less injuries.
Yeah.
Longevity. I feel like when we stretch, you're more limber and stuff like that.
Because you can't see it. We're motivated by we're motivated physically and visually. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I know cardio is going to drop my body fat and show my abs. I know this lateral raise is going to build my shoulders to give me more curvature on my shoulder. I know that press is going to give me this. I can't see my hamstring being loose. Like, I don't care about that.
You feel the pain.
You pull that, and then now you, oh damn, I should be stretching. I should be icing, but that's why I'm the same way. That falls on the back end of my my personal regimen, but yeah, man, you got to.
But I feel also too like the workouts you do. I remember we talked about the functional bodybuilding, like those workouts are actually good for you because you're kind of moving around, kind of staying limber instead of doing just like the bench press, those big like lifting those big weights. We can't move like that. For people that don't know what it is, like what is functional bodybuilding?
Yeah, so functional bodybuilding is, I explain it as having your body be the main piece of equipment for the movement that you're going to do. If you go into freaking a Lifetime or a Self-Made, like there's these insane machines that put your body in a certain position to hit the certain muscle. Like you can put yourself in that position if you know how to do so. And it's just, for me, I only use dumbbells and kettlebells. But you can still use like free weight barbell to do some stuff. And the main thing is just building muscle while having great range of motion and stability at the joints. So a lot of like shoulder presses or shoulder press type holds, a lot of single leg type movements, things like you just search it. That's a great way to open up your hips and to challenge your hips. Search a Cossack squat, Cossack.
Hold on, let me write that down.
Yep, lateral lunge. It's a great way to open up the hips, really hit your adductors, those inner thighs. And that's a certain way if you don't challenge your body. People want to hit the inner thighs by doing like a machine.
The hip flex,
But like, how often are we doing that in real life? Like, you're more likely to do a lunge, and that's what I should say. Movements that resemble
real life.
You do in real life.
Yep. Gotcha. How you spell that again?
Cossack.
CA.
ACK.
Okay, got it.
Cossack.
Was it you said it's the one where you lean side to side?
Yeah, like a lateral type lunge, like here.
Oh yeah. That's like the whole inside of your thigh too. Yeah, that one.
The side that you're leaning to, it opens up your hip, it hits your glutes. The side that's the leg that's straightened out is hitting your adductors.
That's a good workout, huh?
Ankle stability on the side that is doing the movement downward. It's a lot. So it's a lot of taking care. It's a lot of exposing your joints to the movement that they should be doing. Really.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you're gonna train people, are you gonna train them like with the functional bodybuilding or just like what you know, like stuff like that?
Yep. So I'm actually working on my own little program for a phase to slowly introduce the body to those type of movements, because not everybody can do a Cossack squat like that with the type of depth that your hip should be able to, nor have the the stability at the joints to be able to get down there and get back up. So I'm creating a progression of how to expose your body to that. And within my program itself, it's a lot of one functional bodybuilding, but a lot of legs. People hate hitting their legs, but
Yeah.
it's the support system of our body. That's where
Yeah.
a lot of gains are made as far as leaning out, because when we're doing our legs, that allows us to burn the most calories from a weightlifting perspective.
Yeah.
So when you focus on it that way and the benefits of that, as well as having a balanced physique, you can't you can see that.
Yep. You can't be on that Kanye West diet, all chest, no legs.
Nope, none of that. None of that. That's summer coming
Dude,
around.
Taylor Fit, you're not having none of that, huh?
Nope.
I'm gonna
Especially
ask you
summer coming around.
when's chest day? You're like,
Yeah.
we're doing legs the first whole week.
Yep. So the way my split works, and anyone's more than welcome to use this split, but I do chest and quads one day. I do back with hamstring and glutes the next day, and then I'll do like a cardio day between then. But then I'll do shoulders, and then another like light leg day. That way, it's increasing my heart rate. I'm hitting all the muscles I need to in potentially 3 workout sessions, but I'm actually challenging my body in different ways as well.
I'm gonna write that down too. Give me some good experience, some knowledge, brother.
For me, my thing is I can't go into the gym and do just chest and walk out and feel like I did a great workout. Yeah, I get a good pump. Yeah, it feels good. You can burn many calories, especially if you do cardio after. But for me, being a former athlete, I can't walk
Yeah.
in and just do one body part.
You said chest and glutes or hammies?
I do chest squats, back with glutes and hamstrings,
Back
and
and
then
glutes.
and then
Back, glutes, and hamstrings. And then what would you say with chest then?
chest and quads. So it's
Quads.
essentially kind of like a push pull.
Oh, push pull. I was about to ask that. Yeah.
Similar, but I break the shoulders up into its own thing because there's a lot of parts in the shoulders that need to be hit. And when it comes to that shoulder and the leg day, doing movements that allow me to hit everything within the legs, like a full squat, barbell squat if you wanted to, like leg press hits everything, so stuff like that.
Yeah, one of my friends, his name is Manny. He does functional bodybuilding. He follows this guy named Maurice something, white dude with long hair.
Marcus Philly.
Marcus Philly, yeah. He follows him.
Animal.
That dude's just a monster. My homie puts me through those workouts. I'm like, damn, it's tough. Like we did squat lunges when you had to hold the freaking kettlebell up. Freaking get your heart rate up. You're holding your shoulders is working, your lat is working, your core has to be strong. So it's like, I mean, I like those workouts. Just when he's not there, I don't know how to do them right, so I don't want to be. That's how you can hurt yourself if you don't know what you're doing, you know. But it's you're engaging like everything in it.
Everything, and that's why I don't know. Cause you didn't play. Did you play football in high school or no?
No, I stopped I stopped freshman year. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you have a lot of people that play football that watch, but usually the dude that has the highest lifts in the weight room, the dude that's jacked up, rocked up, that strength does not translate to the football field whatsoever. Just because they're not working on becoming functional and how to use that strength in an actual physical way. They just know I can bench press this 400 pounds straight off me, but when it goes to translating to a block and all that, trash.
Can't move whatsoever.
They can't, and it doesn't translate over. So that's the biggest difference when it comes to exposing your body to be able to do something that's going to translate into actual real life.
Do you guys have like a strength and conditioning coach when you were playing football, or was just were they teaching like the functional bodybuilding type way, or were they actually who could lift more and stuff like that?
Yes and no. Just because with football, there is certain movements that need to be done to generate power. So like a power clean and spots and deadlifts and things like that. But we did a lot of stuff like split squats, which works on stability and
Oh.
strength. What else do we do? A lot of one arm rows without like bench support sometimes, because that works on core stability,
Uh-huh.
stuff like that.
Would you see yourself being like a strength and conditioning coach too on the side, or with your
Um,
brand, or basically just your brand?
no, just my brand. Just because when it comes to strength and conditioning coaches, especially when it comes to like um, a high school or a college, it's super competitive market. And if you get a
Uh-huh.
college like a D1 job, those dudes don't leave, and women don't leave. Like just because
Hmm.
if I'm a strength and conditioning coach at Alabama, I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm staying right here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rack this check,
Yeah.
and that's why a lot of those that market is so competitive.
Yeah. Okay. But I mean, you're gonna your brand's gonna go off, and you're gonna be changing people's lives, and so you probably don't even need to do that on the. So I know we kind of. I was gonna ask you the next questions. How'd you get into fitness? I'm probably know the answer because the Covina Viking days. But like, what was like your thought process? Did you always see yourself building up this brand, or how this come about?
Um, it's actually just honestly just kind of been a slow progression. I've never been the type of person that knew exactly what I wanted, like out of life. Like growing up, it's always just been like, well, I guess I like this, I'm gonna do this thing. But
Yeah.
I guess looking back on it, like we talked about at the beginning, like chunky kids, like we got teased and all that growing
Yeah.
up, and we hung around a bunch of skinny kids, and it was like, man, forget
Yep.
so um, that that feel kind of like sparked the interest when it comes to like wanting to be good physically when it came to football.
Mhm.
But then after football, it's like, okay, what's next? Then I did a personal training job. It was okay. I liked I liked being around people that knew more than me from an education standpoint.
Mhm.
So that was like, okay, so there's more to this than just like because in football, all you know is clean squats, bench press, the kind of stuff I was telling you about.
Yeah.
But seeing the other side of like health and fitness, I was like, oh, okay, shoot, this is cool. And then my personal journey as far as like what gets me motivated, the type of workouts that I like, that's wanting me to help other people and educate other people on making health and fitness more attainable and more understanding. Just because it's hard for me to accept that the fact that a lot of people don't know how to eat well and don't know how to take care of their bodies. Um, but then we get taught the same stuff that we do in school that doesn't translate to real life at all, but we have no
Yeah.
clue what's going on here. That's probably the biggest driving force is to like the brand itself, wanting to educate people. But
Mhm.
me wanting to do it was honestly just trying to get my personal experiences out there for other people to kind of reap the benefit from, really.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then was that like the one of the hardest like parts, like since like you went in thinking, oh, I know, like probably because of football and all that stuff, I know all this stuff, and you realize, oh shoot, like there's a bunch of different stuff like you could do to work out. Like how was that transition? Did you like study, watch clips, or
Um,
just from
I got
school?
I got a lot of education from Instagram, really, because a lot of people on
Okay.
there are super educated. Um, but honestly, in I've been thinking about it a lot lately too. The majority of the trainers out there, they're not really reinventing the wheel. It's just they're doing the type of stuff that they like to do, and that's
Mhm.
what they're following, or that's what their clientele is doing as well. So no one's really changing much. If they do, they just add their own little like spin
Twist to
to
it.
a
Yeah.
workout that we already do, but I'm gonna combine these two movements together, and now I got a whole new exercise to do.
Gotcha.
Um, but like kind of what you were saying, like it's easy to get lost or caught up in like different workout styles because you see one guy over there powerlifting, but then you see
Yeah.
another dude over here bodybuilding, and then you see the lady in the corner doing this high intensity workout. It's like, well, what am I supposed to do? So that's why I try to focus more like functional / high intensity type movements. But to
Yeah.
me, that's more enjoyable, just for me personally. But yeah, no, not knocking on anyone else. I just personally don't care to put
Preference, yeah.
400 pounds on my back anymore. So
Yeah. You be front squatting and stuff like that?
no.
Or like,
So goblet squat,
just,
goblet squat's everything I do.
oh,
Um,
okay.
like goblet squat, you can elevate the heels when you do a goblet squat, so I hit the quads even more. Yeah, walking lunges, things like that. Yeah.
It's probably better for your back too, huh? Your back's probably loving you.
More core engagement. Yeah, better for your back,
Yeah.
better for the knees, and for those that probably didn't have a sports background, their bodies can probably withstand that as far as like putting
Yeah.
that weight on them. But for me personally, my back and knees can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I know you love your foodie. You're a foodie guy.
yeah,
You
man.
always be posting good videos of you making stuff like healthy stuff, or even when you cheat meals, you always have. Ever since I know you, you always love food. And me
Yeah.
too. But so it's kind of like you're in the fitness industry, but like you love to eat. So like, what's the biggest thing to like stay focused on your diet? Like, how would you give people advice, or like what do you do? What's the secret behind staying fit and eating what you want?
Yeah. The biggest thing is learning how to make your food taste good. A lot of people
Okay.
hear like, oh, I gotta eat. I have to eat chicken, rice, and broccoli in order to look good and feel good, and then it makes it miserable. Honestly, that's why a lot of people fail when it comes to those type of nutrition plans and meal plans, because it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
There's no enjoyment out of that. You're not looking forward to your meals, but it's like, how about you turn that chicken, rice, and broccoli or a vegetable into like a Chipotle style bowl, or into fried rice, or into like a Mediterranean dish. Like,
Yeah.
that's 3 meals that you can do with just chicken, rice, and vegetables, but a lot of people don't know how to do that type of stuff, or they don't think that they can because we assume healthy eating is not supposed to be good. But it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from, um, because if you think about it, like the Mediterranean diet is one of the best diets out there,
Their food's really good.
full of fat, good fat though, olive
Healthy fat,
oils
right?
and yeah, olive oils and salmon. That's the type of stuff that our brain needs, but
Yeah.
no one knows that. So it's just being more educated on food and how food itself and healthy eating doesn't have to be boring.
Yeah.
All of it.
You don't have to dread it. You can enjoy it.
Yep. Yep. And it goes back to, yeah, education and then the mindset behind it. Like,
Yeah.
is it a lifestyle change, or you're just doing it look like this individual in this
For
amount
a
of time?
for a concert or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like then
Yeah.
if you're doing it for a concert, then you're probably doing it for a wrong reason.
That goes back to the motivation behind it.
Yeah, yeah. And then I also too remember we talked last time, like you only eat bad like on the weekends, huh? So it's like you eat bad because the whole week you kind of rewarded yourself by sticking to your clean eating.
Yeah.
So when you eat on the weekends, you don't feel guilty because you put the work in for the whole week.
Yeah. Yeah. And even during the week, like, I don't dread my food. I don't dread the food that I eat.
Yeah,
Um, it's just, for me, honestly, the main reason why I meal prep is because it would be more stressful for me to figure out what to eat during the day if I didn't.
yeah,
That's the main reason why. That's why, I guess, justify it if that needs justification
yeah,
behind eating the way I do. Like, I eat 4 meals a day, so if I woke up and went to work and none of my meals is made, I don't know what the hell to do
you like
if I had to do
go
that.
on Google Maps. What's next to
Something,
me?
exactly. So,
Yeah,
like, that's the big reason why I meal prep, and like I said, I don't dread my meals by any means. Um,
yeah,
and that's where the hardest, I'd say, transition for people is because, um, when you've been eating a certain way, let's say you've been eating bad for so long, eating clean, it seems like, oh, this is terrible, this is boring, this sucks.
yeah,
It's like the way you were eating before is not normal. Like, that's not
yeah,
natural. You shouldn't be eating that way regardless. So that's why the education on food, as well as like the mindset in fitness is so big for me because I eventually want to be able to like educate children on how to like eat properly. Because
Yeah.
like California school system, as far as like elementary school, food,
Oh,
awful, bro. Like we was
yeah.
eating stuff out of bags and straight out the microwave, and it was like,
The
what is
bags
it?
warmed up in them. Yeah.
It
Those
was, it's
pizza for
so bad,
breakfast.
so bad. So
Yeah.
when you think about like us being exposed to that at
Young
5,
age.
6, 7, 8, and then we step into real life, and like you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to take care of your body, or
Yeah.
the fact that your taste buds are accustomed to what
To
food is
the bad.
supposed
Yeah.
to. Exactly. Now you're fighting an uphill battle again, but now from the food standpoint.
It's like they almost they like the portions we eat are not even supposed to be what we usually eat.
Mm-mm.
Like the whole. I feel like that. I mean, we're the fattest country, no?
Yeah, we're one of them.
Yeah, I had a
Not
friend that
top.
went to he went to Brazil. And he was like their portions are like they would have like a big breakfast and then like they would have like small lunch and small dinner. Like their portions are so but we shouldn't be eating the way we eat, but
Yeah,
we do it.
and because
Yeah,
we don't have a real
structure.
connection
You think?
or structure, connection, symbolism behind food itself.
Yeah,
Like there's certain countries and cities, foreign cities that like they designate time. This, like we're gonna have this meal as a family, and we're gonna
at
create
this
this like,
time.
at this time and create this bond
Yeah,
together. As Americans, we feel like everything has to be so fast and so on the go
yeah.
that you can't settle down and
We're
take
always
the time,
moving.
always moving. But it's like most of the time, you're just forcing yourself to be busy. You can slow down and make this meal if you wanted to,
Yeah,
but we're just so prone to stuffing all of our time, and that's where you kind of fall off track with that type of stuff. So it's just
yeah.
creating a healthy relationship with food in general
Healthy and understanding basically what goes into it and
is
stuff like that, huh?
understanding and
And
understanding.
then And then what you just said right now, I was gonna bring it up when you said it's okay to slow down. Remember you posted a little while ago, you know how all gas, no brakes. You're like, I remember you're saying like it's okay to take a break, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, because
And I feel like we get caught up.
we
Like,
do. Because especially now, because everyone feels like, well, I got to be hustling, I got to be grinding. If I'm not pulling money in right now, then it's
yeah,
probably, especially out there for you, like the way rent is and the way expenses are in California. I get that. Like
yeah,
that's a lot tougher than it is for me in like Kansas. It's not as much stress when it comes to that, but you still gotta you still gotta take time for yourself. Like I don't know for those that are like religious people or not, but the Lord created the Sabbath for a reason for us to be able to slow down, decompress,
yeah,
so that way whenever you do your Sabbath, let's say Sunday, that way when Monday does come, you're back on top of your A game and
back to
you're ready to
normal.
go in.
It's like a
I've been
refreshing. You take a
yeah,
day, just cleanse, basically do whatever you got to do, and then the next day start all new.
it's a mental recovery.
Yep. And then you keep saying stuff like keeps. I'm like, okay, you said Monday. Like the biggest mix, everyone hates Mondays, but I feel like that's our biggest problem is when we go into thinking like we hate something. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
like Monday. We go dreading it. It's gonna set the tone for the week. And I
yeah,
feel like you said, like we should set the tone perfectly on Monday. I don't know why. What's the biggest? I feel like because everyone's looking forward to the weekend party, whatever.
yeah.
I feel like
And,
that's like the
and that goes to I'd say not filling your week with things that you like to do,
yeah,
that you enjoy about it. Um, and that's the biggest, I guess that's the biggest hindrance when it comes to that. Like
yeah.
you shouldn't dread Monday through Friday
Thursday or
afternoon.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
what do you live in the rest? What do you live in that time to do? Like what's the benefit of that? Yeah,
yeah,
no one wants to work. No one wants to work for somebody else, but you have to rest sometimes. But if you think about it, that's only for most cases 8 hours out of the day. So what are you
yeah.
doing with the rest of that time to do something that you enjoy to do or do something that you want to do?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's the way you broke it down. That's it, like you only 8 hours a day.
that's
What
it.
like you said? What are you doing the rest of the time?
Yeah, and unfortunately, like yeah, California, y'all have traffic, so that turns into probably like 10 hours
Two
out of the day.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, so but
There's
even
time
when you're
though.
yeah, there's time. Even when you're driving, there's ways you can be exposing your mind to certain things, and way you can be challenging your
Yeah.
thinking in certain things. So it's using your time effectively.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't. Like for me, I struggle transitioning from one thing to the next. So like for me, when I get off of work, I have to slow down and decompress before I jump into doing some programming for like my workout plans or stuff like that.
Okay.
Like I have to, because I get overwhelmed a little bit. But like my wife, she can boom one thing to the next, easy, easy.
Just boom, boom, boom,
And
boom.
then I'm just like, nah, I can't. And
Yeah,
that
I
goes
have you
back
to
to
sit down real quick.
it goes
Yeah.
back to understanding yourself, understanding how you work, and giving yourself grace with that. We're
Yeah.
also we're our biggest doubters, really, and biggest haters for the most
Yeah.
part. But it's like the way you operate is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some areas you need to work on, and if that's areas, then the way you're acting is keeping you from doing what you want to do, then you need to check that part of you.
Yeah.
But if you know there's certain areas you need, like decompress or to do something to help you relax, like you can do that too. So it's giving
Yeah.
yourself grace.
Yeah. I feel like we also have to hold ourselves accountable too. Like I feel like we do when we say we don't have time, we kind of do things that we waste our time on.
Yeah,
Like maybe be on social media, play video games, Warzone or whatever it is. Like
yeah,
you do have time, but you have to know what you're using your time into and kind of check yourself. Like, you know what, I'm just using that as the excuse so I don't have to do it. That's like the biggest thing is like when you say, oh, I can't do this, or I don't have time to do this, I'm not going to work out. But yet you're over here watching the freaking novella, whatever, Telemundo,
mhm,
whatever, all that shit, or freaking Kim Kardashian, or playing video games. And you're doing that, you have time
yeah,
for that, but you don't have time to the gym or whatever, or even make yourself feel better. Because I mean, if you hate the week, it's because it's basically it's on you. Like you were saying, it's on you. What are
yeah,
you doing with the rest of the time?
yeah.
And I feel
We're
like,
all we're all given the same amount of time each day. It
yep,
just depends on how you use it. And granted, yeah, everyone has different like upbringings and different
yeah,
situations, stuff you didn't ask for, but no one's gonna change it for you, unfortunately.
only you.
Only you, and that's
Yeah,
a hard pill to swallow, but it's it's unfortunately the reality of that
yeah,
sometimes.
it's but the situation. Yeah, but sorry. Basically, what you're saying, like the situations you're in, is basically because of you. Like, if it's in a bad situation, you gotta kind of look yourself in the mirror and like realize, okay, how do I get here? How do I get myself out? Can't be feeling sorry for yourself. That's like
Yeah,
our biggest problems as humans and stuff.
yeah.
And then I don't know if I asked you this, but like your motivation, what drives you? Like how do you stay motivated? Do you read books or podcasts or
Yeah, so for me, I'm motivated externally. So
Mhm.
like knowing that I had the Zoom with you, I'm motivated to get stuff done before this because like I know I have to be there for Drew to record this thing. Now I'm
Yeah,
motivated by not letting you down.
gotcha.
What I'm motivated right now from a working out standpoint is I'm testing like the workouts I'm going to be using for the program. So that's
Okay.
sparking my motivation for that. There's different phases and different reasonings to find motivation. It's hard to stay fixated on just like that one goal, like, oh, I want to
Yeah,
lose 30 pounds or I want to get my pro card for bodybuilding. It's like you gotta chunk that up and you gotta find the little stuff each week to push you
to
through.
keep it going.
Yeah. So
And
right
then
now, yeah.
and then also too, is it like you're married man? It's like you guys push each other. You and your wife, you guys keep each other going. How's
Yeah.
that going?
Yeah. She has I think I put a post about it this week. She has the highest work ethic I've ever seen in my life. And sometimes I feel like I'm lazy
Yeah,
compared to how she is. So been working since she was 15, had a job at 15. And for me, like my excuse was like, oh, I play sports, I don't need a job. But she's always played sports. We went to the same college, but she played volleyball. And then fresh out of college for the past this is her first year not doing it, but for the past 9 years, she was a combination of the three: teaching, coaching volleyball, and studying in school to get like further education, like her master's or something like that.
Okay.
A combination of those three things.
Sheesh.
And it's like, how? Like, how do you find the time and the drive to want to stay fixated on that? But she's the type of person that, like, once I lock in on something, I'm in. And I don't work that way. I don't operate that way. I don't have that amount of focus.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like sporadic sometimes when it comes to like decisions, or I'm very emotional as far as how my will for something is to be accomplished. She's like,
Yeah.
no, I want this thing, so I'm gonna go get that.
Get it.
So like,
by all means.
by all means. So like, for me, I see working out as part of my job now, and she beats me to the gym every morning. She gets about 4:30 to work out at 5, to get home by 6:10, to be out at work by 7. And it's like,
Sheesh.
and it's like, how can I be lazy when the person next to me is pushing that's that much harder in a sense than I am
Yeah.
in that second, like out of bed and I'm out the door and I'm like, shit.
Oh, waking
I'll
up
see you
like
there.
I'll catch you there. You
Yeah,
rolling.
but that's just who she is. That's the drive that she has. And like, she's not doing it for a business. She's doing it because like, this is part of my day and this is what I want to do. But it
Yeah.
takes time for most people to get that amount of drive. If that's not your personality,
Yeah.
you have that personality, and I'm not one of those people. So I have to find little motivations along the way to help me to
Get through it.
get through that.
Yeah. And then
Yep.
another thing I was about to ask, since congratulations, you guys just got married. How do you guys make time for each other? Like, what's like so you guys both have two busy schedules, and so what do you guys? How do you guys make time for each other?
Yeah, we struggle with that lately
Mm-hmm.
because we don't see each other much during the week because
Like passing by.
our schedules don't line up. So um, we've been struggling lately because on the weekends we're packing all the stuff in that we need to do and want to do, and essentially it's for like other people. It's like, oh, we planned this date with this couple, and we're going to a wedding this evening, and we got to see mom and grandma or see her family on Sunday, and it's stuff like that. It's that you have to. We're always checking the other boxes,
Yeah.
but sometimes we forget to check the box that is most important, and that's the one for us, for each other.
Yeah.
So, now we've talked about that. So you kind of, I'm glad you brought that up, because that kind of reassures me as far as like, okay, I do need to tap back in when it comes to
Yeah.
her and when it comes to us.
Yeah, that's kind of like a hard thing. I mean, even not even like relationship with it in life in general, we get so caught up. Like we were talking about it, you just gotta, stop, reevaluate. The biggest thing was that you guys talk about it, communication. How in a relationship is basically the biggest key.
Yeah, it's hard too. It's harder. The biggest thing that she taught me was how to, one, empathize with people. For me, growing up, I was just always just this like stern individual, and like, oh, you did this, f you, I don't care no more, forget you.
Yeah.
And she's taught me how to like empathize with the other person, even if I don't necessarily want them in my life or need them to be around. Empathize with them in the sense of like their reasoning, and then from there you can kind of remove them when it comes to a situation like that, or
Yeah.
just empathizing with how her work day went, and then how it doesn't necessarily, her being upset in the house isn't my fault. It's the fact that her work day was stressful, and being able to separate those two emotions in my head. Not everything is my
Yeah.
fault. She can be upset for things other than just me.
Yeah.
So empathizing, and then yeah, kind of I segue to that. I'm not the most important thing in the world to her. Like,
Yeah.
she has other stuff going on, and that's okay. Like, not everything that she does is revolved around me, or vice versa. Like, we have
Yeah.
separate lives that do affect each other, but we also have this life together that's 100% equal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then just like you said, realizing like that stuff makes it easier on you because it. Like you said, you're like, oh, what I do? You're mad at me, but now you're like, okay, it's work, blah blah blah.
And us men are the biggest. We're the ones that are the most insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've learned that more and more as I've grown up, and I've had her. Like, we're the ones that are like, oh, what did I do? Why are you mad at me? Or where have you been? Or I need you to hug me or hold me.
We're babies.
Yes, 100%, 100%. Yep, and women are the ones that are more self-sufficient. You know, I can do this. Women are usually the ones that have the most drive, honestly.
Yeah.
And the most ambition and the most secure in what they're feeling and how to operate about that. And yeah, it's us that need to do the leg work to be more mentally understanding.
They're the driving the train. We're just on the board. They're doing it all.
Man.
I mean, it's crazy what women go through. I mean, they work every day, and then eventually they give birth to a baby and work still while they have the baby. Like when I used to work at Starbucks and I see like moms in there and they're working, I'm like, what? Man, that's crazy. Me, I'll be at home.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to come give me some food on the bed, but but man, they have some of that mom strength, and it's crazy what they go through.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it just makes us appreciate them more, and it makes us honestly make us want to be a better person. Seeing how my Erica with her son, and like how she's a great mom, and it's like makes me want to be a better person. How my mom was, just seeing all the other moms that are in my life, it's just like, man, they really do. They're strong. It's crazy, and it just makes you respect them more.
Yeah, 100%.
Appreciate them.
Yeah, moms get a lot of really good moms. You take them for granted as far as the stuff that they do for you.
Yeah.
Like my mom, full-time job, cooked every meal, did all laundry.
Good meals.
Good meals. All laundry at every football game. And it's like, where did you find the time to do all of that? Like, or the energy even.
Yeah.
And it's insane. It's the amount of willpower that it takes to do all of that. It's ridiculous. Women are able to tap into that so well, whereas us men are just like, nah, I need to deal for a second.
Yep. Or we need to find like a motivation to get us going. They already have it built in. Their drive is crazy. And then I wanted to bring up, like, did you that's another off topic, but this is for your Instagram, did you always see yourself posting on like content like that, or like how did that come about?
I've done it on and off for a little while. I'm kind of in a little lull right now. Like this goes back to like excuses. Like I'm letting work take my time for myself. Like I'm not putting the energy into what I want to do. So I've had to take a step back. All right, I can't say have to. I took a step back as far as content wise, because I didn't know how to manipulate my schedule for that. But back to your question, I've been doing it on and off probably for like I don't know, 2 years, 3 years. Main reason I did it before was like, oh shoot, everyone else is doing it. Why shouldn't I do it? And you see that everyone wants to have a fitness page just because they got their own little body fat. Now they think that they can train everybody. Or, I was caught up in that. Like, oh, I'm a trainer now, so I'm gonna post workouts. Like, no, bro, it's more than that.
Yeah.
And then quarantine made me want to do that more. It was like I got all this time, so I might as well. And then it's just been kind of gradual, more and more. What am I doing this for? It's not just posting a workout, it's education. All of this, all of the things that I'm doing right now is rooted in education and kind of like mindset shift of health. So that's why I posted like the lower back video I did. Like a lot of us got low back pain, but like why do you have low back pain? So take care of your body this way. It's more than just sweat and doing a bunch of squats and running. And like no, take care of yourself this way too.
That's the biggest thing. You're trying to educate people.
Yeah, that's the root of it. I'm not driven by money at all.
Yeah.
Money will come. There's many ways to make money. I could drop everything I'm doing and try to learn how to do trading and stuff like that because we know how well people are doing in that space,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
learn how to do drop shipping. But like, I'm not driven by money. That's just how I am, I guess. And that could probably be
Yeah.
from like our upbringing. Like, we didn't have much growing up, so I know how to live
Yeah.
without. So the money I do have is more
That's
than
a
I've ever had.
yeah. And that's your biggest. You're smart though. You always be. We talked about it last time, but you be going to Ross and finding good deals. You be getting nice shoes. They're probably like, if you would have gone to Nike, they're probably like $100-some, but you be getting them from like 40 whatever at Ross.
Hmm.
You're. I figure out how'd you get like smart with your money? Was it like you said upbringing? You kind of just know how to manage your money.
Yeah, I'd say upbringing for sure. My mom and grandma would take me and my brother with them to do grocery shopping. So learning how to like, you write a list of the things that you need for groceries, and learning to look at prices as far as like, oh, this deal for this, or I can get two of these for one, um, and just learning to look at it that way. So,
Yeah.
and learning to live without, like I was just saying, like, we didn't have money growing up. Like, I didn't know our meals were there though. So it's like
Yeah.
knowing that you can live and survive, and you don't got to break the bank. And for me, I'm not a flashy dude, so
Yeah.
I dress just like this all the time. T-shirt, sweats, shorts, hoodie. My closet is not extravagant by any means,
Yeah.
and I'm
Just
not
comfortable. Yeah.
comfortable. I'm not driven by that flashy type stuff, and it's not me to boast by any means. When my thing, as far as like my vice, like, I like good food. That's where I spend. If you look at like our like expenses, a lot of the money goes to food when it comes to
Some
that.
good
Just like,
food.
that's something that I like. That's my little um
That's
my
your
vice. My
flashy.
vice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my flashy thing.
That's your
People they don't
watch
have
or whatever it is.
mhm,
Yeah.
people don't have a connection with food, but they do have a connection with shoes. They have a connection with
Yeah.
purses and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm not saying I'm better than anyone when it comes to that sense, but it's like when it comes to um, material things, that's not what I'm about. I guess
Yeah.
that's a
And then
long-winded way of saying that's how I somewhat am okay with my money.
manage your. And then how was it moving to Kansas from the transition from Cali to Kansas? How was that?
Um, it was different.
Yeah.
It was different. Growing up in Covina, it's a lot of Hispanics.
Yeah.
Well, high school was 80% Hispanic, so everybody was a Torres or Hernandez or or
Gutierrez.
something. So coming here and not seeing any Hispanics, and seeing two a whole bunch of white people, I was like, man, like, this is this is
Yeah, something
weird. Like,
different.
I'm not used to it. But then, um, like, from a social standpoint, you can feel the
Tension.
tension in a sense. No one ever is gonna like outwardly say anything, but you can feel that that tension you just said. So being able to internalize that was a big shift for sure. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, there's some beef between like blacks and Hispanics, but usually it's all rooted, like, it's all love for the most part.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was the biggest shift as far as like, and I'm still not comfortable, but it's like getting used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was your school like the when you guys played football? Was it like what you say, like the movies where the whole town shuts down and go watches the school, or it was not
No,
like not like
not at all. So, school is a small private school. So as far as like um, funding and all that stuff, a lot of the money's not pouring into there. But also the town that we're in, it's still kind of like, this is the suburbs really. This is the suburbs of Kansas City. So
Okay.
as far as like all the high schools and all that stuff around here, it doesn't shut down like that. It's
Oh,
similar to
it's
like
still kind
it's
of
similar
big.
to like Covina, like St.
Oh,
Denis
okay.
type. So it's like a bunch of
Thing.
high schools around. So um,
Okay.
yeah, no, it's not like that aspect. No.
It's not small like Midwest somewhere like
No.
Just okay.
Yeah, so
That's what my
Johnson
biggest.
County is one of the richest counties in America.
Oh, the one you're at right now.
Hmm.
Okay. That's all. I remember you saying that's when you like at your job you seen like some high end people, stretch some football players from Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, so I've met Demarcus Robinson there. He's a receiver for the Chiefs.
Yep.
Um, I've met like CEOs of hospitals. I've met people that own like this big milk company out here. I've met a bunch of different people when it's come to that. And it's just learning the business from them.
Yeah, and just getting knowledge from them, asking questions.
Yeah, I didn't go to school for any type of business. That's why
Yeah.
I hesitate. I've hesitated for so long to start something because it's like I'm not going to jump into a business and not know how to protect myself legally or how to avoid taxes and things like that.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to get taxed for your business. People just don't know how to get around it.
Yeah. So they're just asking questions, and you ask questions from people you work with, YouTube videos, or
Yeah, I ask a lot of questions. I read a little bit. I'm learning how to do better at that. I wasn't a big reader in school.
hmm
So I'm reading Rich Dad Poor Dad right now by Robert Kiyosaki, and it's just talking about building a corporation to protect yourself legally and avoid taxation, building assets to generate more income to um, honestly build your pockets and limiting expenses. So it's like a three-headed monster when it comes to life and
basically hits up
business. That
everything.
book, yeah.
And then to bring up when you say you ask people for questions, I feel like that's one of our biggest downfall is our ego. We don't want to like feel like asking people questions. I mean, if you don't know anything, it's like kind of okay to say you don't know anything. Like, I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know everything. We try to feel like we know everything, but it's totally okay. Like, if you don't know this, ask to do a question and or girl a question, and it's like I don't know why we have that biggest like consumption, like our ego or whatever, our pride, I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't know. I don't know where that stems from. I think it's more so like the embarrassment that you don't know something.
Yeah,
I don't see that as embarrassing. I see it as more humbling than anything. You're saying that you
yeah,
don't know something, but you want to know something more about that topic.
yeah,
Um, but what's even funnier is like people will, okay, let's say you don't want to ask someone because you are embarrassed, but then you don't take the time to just like Google it. So instead of
yeah.
doing that, you're just like, forget it. And it's like,
It's
well,
like,
you
oh,
already know you can,
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not going to do it, but you can get all the answers that you want to from that. And I
Yeah,
struggle with that sometimes, like, and it goes back to me being like a terrible reader. Like, I'll search something and the article will pop up. And I'm like, man, just forget
he clicks it.
it.
You're like, exit. I'm alright.
Yeah, so like and that goes back to just learning yourself. Like I'm an audio guy. Like I'm forcing myself to read this book because it's challenging. So it's like a motivation
Yeah,
thing. But like I'd much rather just listen to
listen.
the book because it's easier for me to consume it that way.
Yeah,
So yeah, it just goes back to tapping into who you are and what you enjoy.
yeah. I feel like that's like the biggest thing for me too. Like, I'd never read in high school, and that's like become like one of my things is like reading. It's enjoyable, just like how I kind of I never liked running, and during
Mm,
the quarantine I fell in love with running. It was like basically my me time. I'll just run. You
yeah,
just get lost in the whatever you listen to, the music, and just you kind of in your own little bubble zone. And I just kind of the whole quarantine was like a blessing in disguise for me because it made me like reading. It made me like running. Never thought I would like running. I used to hate it, but it's like once bad stuff happens, there's a reason for it. You know, it's always like there's
yeah,
always like I just said like a blessing in disguise that we don't see right away, but eventually later down the line, it's like, oh, this is why this happened. Oh,
yeah.
this is why.
Because this was built out of quarantine, wasn't it? Or at least the idea of
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
So now look at that. Like you
Yeah.
wouldn't have had the time to slow down and really think about like, man, I
Trying
got
to do
stuff I
something.
want to say.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
So
weird how it works out. I mean, yeah, the whole situation sucked. People lost lives, but like good things come out of tragics. Good things come with
yeah,
You know, did you pick up anything during the quarantine or any new like stuff, trades, hobbies,
I'd say this the workout style that I was
the
talking
home
about,
the home
like
workout
home
videos?
workout videos, functional workouts. I adopted that, and then me and the wife we weren't even married then, so then we got a lot more time to just stop and understand each
Kick
other
it.
and listen and it was real big. That was when like the whole George Floyd situation happened.
Yeah.
So that really forced us like, no, we're gonna figure this thing out and how we feel about this, how we want to operate, how we want to look after one another, um, protests and things like that. And that's we say that this summer was kind of like the cornerstone of our relationship moving forward.
Yeah.
Because we stripped away some people that didn't have the best interest for us at heart and surrounding ourselves with people that we know are taking care of us and have our best interests, and then staying rooted in kind of the vision that we have, and that's just building something for ourselves, really. So,
Or for the future.
same thing, it was a blessing for us as well.
Yeah, kind of the whole thing kind of showed everyone's kind of true colors. And you
100%.
just weed out the weeds, and it is what it is. I mean, there's people behind us now, you know.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, man, I appreciate your time, brother. I gotta go see. I think I'm gonna visit my mama and get her some
Okay.
coffee.
Mama said hello.
I told her I always post her videos. She's like, "Oh, I need to follow Javon." Like, you don't follow her yet? You don't follow him yet? So she's probably gonna follow you. And she said she's gonna watch your videos and stuff.
Yeah.
She's trying to get back to working out.
Okay.
I just tell her just do it. You know, maybe find some YouTube videos because I think she's her situation with like the breast cancer. Like I don't know if she could lift heavy with her shoulder, so she's kind of worried about it. So I was like, just do your research, and she wants to get back into it. I was like, maybe
Yeah.
just start walking, cardio.
Yeah.
Just start walking. She has hills. She lives in Rancho, so there's a bunch of hills and stuff
Okay.
like that. So yeah, but she's gonna follow you. She's probably gonna stalk your page, look at all your videos and stuff like that. Hey, how's your mom doing? Everyone's good?
Mom's good. Mom works from home now. Grandma's solid. Grandma is, and this goes to taking care of yourself. My grandma's 80 years old. I pull up to the house. I'm pulling up to drop off my dog because she watches my dog every like other day. And
Okay.
I gotta head to work. I'm in a rush. My grandma starts to run to throw away the trash to get back to get the dog into the house. So it's like,
Oh wow.
80 years old, small Hawaiian Asian lady. But it just goes to show like if you take care of yourself
Yourself.
mentally, physically, spiritually, like you can do it and
You could live longevity.
live long,
Your
man.
mind, yep. That's good, man. Well, I appreciate your time, brother, and hopefully we got this video. Hopefully
Yes, it should be good.
it worked out, and we'll post it, and we'll talk again, man. We'll keep in touch. We keep in touch through social media. I appreciate your time, man,
Yes, sir.
and have a good time at the wedding.
Yes, sir.
Do
Yes, sir.
you gotta